What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm bringing you the long-anticipated base tour video. I'm going to be showing off all the new features that I added. There was a ton of really cool water-based mechanics that dropped with the Wake of the Water update, and I wanted to include those mechanics into the design of the new base. So I basically rebuilt the entire thing from the ground up and added a ton of new features that I think you guys are going to think is pretty cool. So without any further ado, let's jump into it and kind of show everything off. So we still have a very similar layout for the main Great Hall, only now it's a little bit more organized and decorated and just a bit cleaner, and has a much more easy access to all the different NPCs and stuff. We've got the obvious subscribe logo on the back wall. I'll try and incorporate that into all the videos. But as you can see, we've got the Drac Relief, which is one of the new relic collectibles in the new update. That's fully completed. And then obviously I've scattered around all the top tier furniture and trophies, so we have that maximum comfort at all times. Before, I had all of my storage chests sitting on the ground, stacked on top of each other. I wanted to clean those up. So every single vendor room has 4 of the new enormous magical chests built into the wall, so it's super clean and organized, and all of the required materials that you can collect for that specific vendor type are all organized in the same place, so I know exactly where to go if I need anything, and they hold a ton of items in them, so really convenient there. If we start in the bottom floor, and immediately turn right from the main entrance, this is just a spare room. The game's not fully in 1.0 yet, so I'm assuming we'll probably get some additional vendors. In the meantime, I may turn this into my personal little living space with a bed and furniture and stuff, but I wanted to make sure I left at least one room open, that way I don't have to change things down the road in case new NPCs get added, so that's what that's for. On the left side, however, we have the Alchemist room, and I don't have every single room fully decorated yet, but this room and a couple others will be a good example of what I'm eventually going to be going for. Just a unique look and style based on what type of vendor it is. So the Alchemist is based on magic and spells and things like that. So we've got the cool magic Alchemist themed room here with the Alchemist himself and the Alchemist apprentice, and obviously every Alchemist crafting bench that you would need to make all of your spells and things like that. So pretty cool first room there. Moving on to right above the Alchemist room, we have the Hallowed Halls vendor room here. He's the guy that makes those Hallowed Hall potions and stuff like that. So I made sure to go with a really cool Hallowed Halls theme for this particular room. He's obviously got his apprentice as well now, so I made sure to add him with the crypts and things like that. Pretty spooky room, but looking cool. We work our way across. This is going to eventually be the Hunter's NPC room with the apprentice. Obviously all of the required crafting benches you would need, and this will have its own unique theme in terms of wallpaper and ceiling and whatnot to make this look more hunter themed. But I haven't fully gotten around to it, but they've got their own space, little shop set up. On the bottom floor, this is the barber shop. This is where all the cosmetic changes and stuff can happen. We've got the coloring station, our little barber NPC, what's his name, Enzio or something like that. He's got his little stall. We've got the salon sink and a little shelf with some of the wigs on it on display. So that is our barber shop there. As you can see in the main hall, we've got our throne, the fire relief, and every single trophy in the game. We've got the new skull trophies from the new update over on this wall, but then we have the new gold variation, so there's 4 variations for every monster trophy now, and I've got every single one of them crafted and on display. So looking really, really cool. The new gold dragon head, the youngling dragon, is massive. I thought the platinum one was big, but that gold one is just huge. And then we also have the big multi-story statues. So we got the soldier statue on the right side, and then the Hallowed Halls Cyclops statue on the left. And I kept that on the same side, obviously, as the Hallowed Halls vendor and stuff like that, to try and keep it organized and kind of match the theme. As we move up to the second story on the right side, this is going to be the the carpenter and his assistant with the latest upgraded sawmills and all the tools you need for him. I may be missing one of the pieces of equipment, I'm not sure, but I'll craft that up really quick. I'm in the process of decorating all of these new rooms, but they've got their own little shop over there. And then last but not least, we have the blacksmith and the apprentice with all of our forges and things like that. So every single main vendor has their own unique little shop, and will eventually be decorated accordingly to match their theme. So that is the first floor. We also have a full secondary floor. That is the Armory. For quick access, I added some grappling hook anchors so we could technically teleport up there. But the one cool thing that I added that I want to show you guys, which is one of the new features that was added in the Wake of Water update, is water elevators. So I made sure to add that. We've got the cool little water door on the bottom floor, and if you just jump in, you can then swim all the way up to the top floor and just pop out the other side. And now we are at the Armory room. This is going to be where every one of my mannequin displays for every type of armor set in the game, including cosmetics, will be located. I also am starting to show off some of the weapons as well. I plan to have the current top level weapons that are available in each given patch. So these are all the max level 50 weapons that you can get right now, plus a few of the quest based ones that just happen to look cool, like the dragon wing bow and stuff like that. If they're really unique, I tend to add those too. But we've got every single armor that you can get in the game lined up in order by level in which you unlock them. So this is all of the hunter gear, leading all the way up to the latest 3 for the Wake of the Water update. Over here we have all of the mage class armor sets, working all the way up to the latest update as well. On the other side, we've got all of the cosmetic armor sets in the game, and these are all the ones that are full body. There is a few one-off ones that are just hats, and those will eventually go on the shelves. There's a unique way where you can kind of rotate these mannequins so only the head pops out, and I plan on displaying just the hats that way. I'll probably also have chests next to each set of armor based on class, with another set of every piece of the latest armor. That way, if I want to do testing for builds and things like that, I don't have to remove the ones that I have on display. I can just quickly pull them from the enormous magic chest and swap armor pieces on and off for my own personal use. But then last but not least, over here we have all the armor for the warrior class in order from level. So really cool. We've got all of the collectible relics in the middle, all the fossils, all the shark teeth, all of the tomes and relics that you get from the hallowed halls, the big blood gem, things like that. This is going to be where all of the stands and displays go for any future collectibles. So this is like the trophy room, basically. I thought about putting the big trophies that you mount on the walls up here as well, but eventually this is going to get all filled with weapons and stuff, so it won't look as bare, and I kind of liked having all of the unique trophies like right on display in the main great hall as you're walking around, so I kept them down there for now by the throne. But yeah, this is going to be the ultimate armory with all of your weapons and armor needs that you can just grab whenever you want, so pretty cool section there. If we just jump into the water elevator, work our way back down, I can show you the next favorite part of the base, and probably the most tricky section, but definitely a necessity, and that is the farm. Behind the throne, there's actually a secret hidden door. If you go ahead and open this, it leads to an underground tunnel that takes you to my very organized farm. What I did is I actually went ahead and pre-planned all 3 builds for the different classes, so Hunter, Warrior, and Wizard, and I came to the basically decision of what crops to make based on the top 4 food items that I'm going to be using for those 3 different builds that I'm going to be making videos for you guys, and made sure that every ingredient needed for those 4 different meal items for each class was available in this garden. Some of them are pretty tall, so we can't get a good view here, so let's jump up on the archway, and I made a cool little viewing station on the roof of my base to get a better glimpse of how clean this farm looks. We've got obviously everything on the left side organized for all of the meals for the wizard. All of the crop plots in the center are for the warrior class, and all of the crops on the right side are for the hunter class. So every ingredient that you could possibly need to make those top tier food items, I have at hand at all times, and I can just grab them and use to make food anytime I want. Obviously, if you're one of the type of people that don't really care about playing it and you're more of a builder and you go to like the Shroud Depot to get all your ingredients straight up, then this isn't as big of a necessity. But if you're like me, you just want to play the game as is and have those rare ingredients on hand at all times. A zoo for animals and a really high quality farm are two very big aspects of your base that you definitely want to invest some time in and make. So really cool there. And as you can see, on the left and right side, I went ahead and added the new water mechanics for the water-based crops. So right now we only have two. We have the rice and the algae. And what's interesting about the rice and the algae is they actually have to grow with different water conditions. The rice paddy farms have to be only partially submerged in order to get the max grow quality possible. So you don't want the water to be too deep. So I did a multi-tiered kind of stepped solution where the water just automatically trickles down from our waterfalls and permanently, forever, basically partially submerges all the water paddies. So we have an unlimited amount of rice crops at any given point, and to make sure those don't overflow, obviously, hidden at the end of each little lane here, I've got drainage, a wall drainage for the water up against the wall that you can't even see. That just keeps that water level at the exact level that I need it at all times. Also, because the game's not fully out yet, I'm assuming with the water update, as they change some things and start adding new content, we will eventually get more water-based crops. So that's why I split this into 3 different lanes. I like keeping things crisp and organized and symmetrical. And if I have different types of crops, I like to have them in their own separate isolated sections. So I broke it up into 3. Right now it's all rice, but obviously later down the road, if we get some different water-based crops, I could put a whole section of another one in the middle or the right, and it'll kind of be its own little lane. So I know which one is which. So I kind of pre-planned that in advance. Looks pretty cool. And then the other side for the algae, the difference with those is those crops have to be fully submerged in order to have proper water. So instead of doing the multi-tier stepped one, I combined every 2 tiers into just one deeper section. That way the algae could sink lower and be fully submerged under the water, which is pretty cool. And if we go up, you can kind of get a better idea of that. In this first one, this one's even deeper. So they have to be pretty deep submerged under the water to get the full grow effect. But it ended up working out perfectly. I have a little section up top for another semi-covered patch, and then 2 very large sections for just a ton of algae and fully submerged crops as well. Same thing with the drainage, water drainage at the bottom, keeps the water level exactly where I need it so my base doesn't get flooded. There is some bugs every now and again. I noticed if you go to a different person's server or you teleport to a different flame altar and then come back, it bugs out, and sometimes I have ankle deep water in this whole section even though everything should be perfectly sealed. I think the devs mentioned that is a little bit of a bug. If that happens in your base, you can just go to your flame altar and there is a new remove water option. You just click that button and it just instantly removes all water from your territory, and things will start slowly filling up, but it will remove any type of flooding accidents that happen. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that is the really cool farm section. Moving on, we go back into the main base and head out the front door. The next thing I want to show off is the petting zoo, aka the animal farm here. We come down here. This building here is like the villagers' home. This is where all the villagers can roam around, and we got a cool room on the bottom floor that I'll show you here in a second. But this is the Glitchiz petting zoo. We have 3 of every single capturable animal in the game in here. So all of the eggs, feathers, wool, fizzy milk for some of the food options we're going to be crafting. These animals are perfect to have on hand, and the ones that I use the most, I've got 4 of actually instead of 3. So the yaks and the goats and stuff that have the milk, I actually have 4, a little bit more of those because I require the materials more often. But I originally had 2 adults and 1 baby just because it looked cool, and then I realized that the baby animals don't give you any of the cool crafting materials, so I eventually just made them all adults. That way I can take advantage of the resources. But yeah, 3 of every single animal that you can get in the game, including the new capybaras, which are over there in the corner just chilling. There's a great place to farm them. There's actually an entire oasis that you can farm them in the new Drac area. It's called the Capybara Oasis. It's over here somewhere. I know I found it. I don't know where it would be, though. Surprised I don't have a marker for it. Don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. Yeah, it's in. I swear it's like in the middle by one of the waterfalls, but it's a blue icon, much like this one, and it's just a capybara oasis up against a mountain where there's dozens of these things that you can gather up. But moving on into the villager's little hut here. This on the bottom floor is what I'm calling just the Tavern. This is where the bard and the bard assistant is located. They got their own little stage to perform, and every single different quality instrument mounted on the wall and put on display. We also have mounts for every single fish that you can collect, including the purple rare ones like the bluefin and even the glow one. I have May, the Asian NPC, as the barkeep that serves the drinks and stuff like that. So we got a little bit of an Asian theme behind the bar and all the barrels and whatnot with some additional storage. I put things like the animal feed and stuff like that for the farm in these, as well as any like meads and consumable items type of stuff. Any like extra random building materials I tend to put in here as well, where I don't always need them, but I still need to store them. So cool little section here. Upstairs isn't really decorated, but this is just the basically lodging for all the villagers. They're set to be able to roam up to 50 meters around just to make the place feel a little bit more alive, but you need to have a place to put their beds, obviously. So this is just a generic spot where I have all of them, their beds and their spawn locations. So cool little section there. And then the last but not least, and one of my favorite sections, is with the Way of the Water update, they added fishing. And I'm a big fishing fan myself. And even though you can't privately fish in the game, you have to go to designated areas, I still wanted my own unique little oasis. So as you walk out here, we have the new pirate NPC and fishing NPC, if you will. And then I went ahead and built myself my own private little oasis pond that's pretty cool, complete with gold and bioluminescent algae. So even at night, this entire little mini private lagoon just glows in the night and looks really, really dope. And I've made sure to mask all of the like water spouts with like vines and stuff with the traditional tropical new actually veil water basin dirt and stuff like that. So really cool section. It's one of my favorite spots of the base, and the last spot that I have to show you guys. So all I did was regular land dirt and soil. Over time the water can flood out, but with castle walls and like sealed in containers, the water has nowhere to go. So what I did is I literally terraformed this entire top of the cliff to have equal flooring using castle blocks for the entire base and foundations of what will eventually be the pond and the oasis itself. And then afterwards, I went and took the veil water dirt, all the different gold and plants and like algae and stuff, and then layered that randomly with the randomized terrain blocks over top of it so it looked more natural, and then hid those little water spouts along the inside walls throughout, as well as some drains to keep that water level consistent and at the exact depth that I want. So it just looks like I have a permanent little like fishing pond behind the base. So a really, really cool section, and it's nice to just come out here and chill. But yeah, that is pretty much the entire base tour. We've got every new water mechanic included in the design, the water elevators, stuff like that, the new water wheel for the farm, the new water spout system for the oasis. I tried to incorporate every possible little detail I could, and I think it turned out pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. Again, I always appreciate your guys' feedback. Let me know if there's something you'd like me to add, things like that. I'm always interested in hearing people's ideas. But yeah, that is the official Glitchiz base tour, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that like button and comment down below. Appreciate all of your guys' feedback. If you want to keep up to date with my future Enshrouded content, consider subscribing and turn on that notification bell. I still got all of my updated build guides coming for you guys. I think the wizard build is the first one that I'm closest to finishing, that I'll be bringing out to you guys here hopefully within the next couple of days. So hit that bell and keep an eye out for that update. But yeah, until the next one, I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you guys later.